Welcome to Here's the Catch, the best sports podcast in America, hosted by two guys named Isaac and Cameron that also has a red logo.
And
Pretty
is
undebatably.
is also in the sports category. I think that's a necessary
Necessary qualifier. But
for
the
sure.
qualifiers, you can make anything true with enough qualifiers.
I mean, I've
Today,
got a trophy right here actually for our official victory in that specific front.
red logo podcast. Today qualifies as April 5th, 2018. What do we have to talk about, Cameron?
Today we're going to be talking about the official Here's the Catch baseball player and his
Shoney.
Hall of
Big
Fame
goat.
his Hall of Fame lock, and we will be breaking down the entire NHL season as well as telling you exactly who's going to win the Stanley Cup because we're huge hockey guys. And then
I'm a huge hockey guy.
and then we've got a little bit of football, a little bit of basketball, and we've got some fun segments for y'all.
I'm not going to say that we called Shohei Ohtani, but we kind of did. We kind of spoke that one into existence.
We are easily
We're 1-for-1, I think. That's the first real prediction. Plus, oh no, we went 3-for-3 on our basketball predictions last week.
Oh,
So
and
last week's podcast was a 4-for-4.
I mean, we also we got the entire tournament right throughout the entire tournament, which is obviously just from the Final Four on. So
Right?
I
Yeah.
still
What
can't
tournament?
believe Duke and UVA got
The
snubbed
snubs,
out of
the
that
snubs.
thing. All right, let's get into it.
Let's sing.
Here's the catch. Here's the catch.
R.I.P.
Here
Kyrie.
is the catch.
Here's the catch.
We
Go
still
Hoos.
have a better
Here's the
idea than the
catch.
NFL does. We are constantly making football.
Here's the catch. What up, Shay Serrano? Here is the catch.
Hey, yo, check us out. All right, we never self-plug on this show, so that's good that we kept that up. Let's get right into Ohtani's MVP and really Hall of Fame case. Well, actually, first, one question for Isaac. Isaac, how do you spell Ohtani's first name?
Oh, so the way is there's this athletes like to do this thing where they put a hashtag and then they put SH and it's like shh. They put their finger over their mouth and it's like a silence the haters thing. So that is what he's going for. It's like a shh, and after that it doesn't matter. He
Oh,
just calls himself shh.
so Ohtani actually just exclusively silences haters and really does nothing else.
Yeah, but that's gonna be his nickname in a few years, if not in a few days. Lock that in.
All right, so
Can I get confirmation on how it is spelled for? I mean, obviously I know, but we might have a less informed to listeners.
Shohei, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei. I thought there was an N, dude. I thought it was like Shoni.
I actually thought that
Yeah, you heard
too.
me
Sorry,
saying
I didn't think that, so I knew the whole time.
Shohei.
Well, Ohtani got the first week of his MLB career off to a absolutely banging start. He has home runs in back-to-back games. He had a hit in his first ever game, and he's 1-0 with 6 strikeouts, and he retired 13 out of the last 15 hitters he faced. So, I mean, I actually do want to give him the MVP right now, but is it too early?
It's not too early. I think we can do it. ESPN was already tweeting out there like, Shohei Ohtani did this. Even Babe Ruth took like 14 games to do this, and Shohei did it in 4. So it's beyond MVP. We're on historic trajectory.
Ohtani had back-to-back games with home runs. It took him only 3 career games. It took Mike Trout 21, and people think Mike Trout's one of the best ever.
People say he's a good hitter.
So Ohtani is like 7 times better at least than Mike Trout.
Mm-hmm. And we're the best podcast with the red logo. These are all facts that we're spitting right now.
These are all facts. All right, that's pretty much all I've got for baseball.
We're not gonna overreact here.
Yeah,
we're not gonna overreact at all. 1 week, it's too soon to tell on anything beyond
Ohtani being an MVP.
Ohtani, the GOAT. All right, we've wrapped up baseball. Let's get into hockey. Playoffs are about to start. First question for you, Cameron. Who do you see locking up those last wild card spots in both conferences?
Well, as far as the East, I kind of see the Devils and the Flyers sticking with it. I know that that's chalk as far as the actual points are concerned, but the Blue Jackets have been on fire recently. They've won eight out of their last 10 and picked up points in nine out of their last 10. And the Penguins can't possibly lose it uh, just because they're the fucking Penguins and everyone fucking hates them. So of course they're gonna win.
Yeah,
Uh, in
classic.
in the Western Conference, it really just comes down to the Avalanche and the Blues. They play each other Saturday night, in essentially a win and get in type of game. And I'm gonna give it to the Avalanche. They've got a guy named McKinnon who's really a under the radar flyer for the MVP candidate. Put up lots and lots of points this year, so uh, I think that he'll just kind of carry them. The Blues have also lost four in a row, so they're reeling right now, and the other seven spots are pretty much locked up. I also think it doesn't matter because either one of those teams is going to get absolutely rolled by the Predators, who are the best team in hockey, I think. And I think the Jets are good too, but I think the Predators are really not even that close.
All right, solid analysis. I have some things to contribute. The Titans are copying the Predators' jerseys, so that means the Preds must be doing something right. You mentioned McKinnon. If you're looking for a sleeper in your fantasy football league, pick up his cousin Jarek. Jarek McKinnon could put some points up.
Oh, Jarek is a sleeper.
Don't fact check me on the cousin thing. Uh, Here's a question: who do you think between me and you, Cameron, has watched more hockey this year? Probably me.
Probably you. Yeah. I'm actually gonna say not you. Probably.
Well, okay. I'm not going to lie to our listeners. I haven't watched a single non-highlight from hockey this year. But I will preface this discussion by saying, first of all, this makes me a more objective and better qualified person to project the playoffs than Cameron because I'm not emotionally attached to any teams, and all I have is the computers, not my own eyes to tell me anything.
Okay,
Second,
fair.
hockey is cool. So if you're a casual sports fan, not hockey fan, looking to create a sort of sense of adventure in your life, you should check out the NHL playoffs. Just like toss $5 on a game or pick like the Caps and root for them hard. But I think it's exciting if you can figure out a way to like get invested in a team. And over a 7-game series, you'll learn all the players you need to know and all the things you need to do. It's easy to get caught up in it. It's exciting, and the intensity is like off the charts in hockey.
I do think that the hockey playoffs are the best playoffs in sports as far as just an elevation
that's the one,
of
like,
the game.
You can feel the crowd like through your TV, and just like goals could happen at any moment. That doesn't happen in most sports. Real wild stuff. There's not enough goals. That's why it's not as good as basketball as a sport. But again, that's another discussion.
For another day. All right,
you mentioned the Predators as the best team in hockey, and they're obviously in the West. Who do you think is the best team in the Eastern Conference?
I'm gonna go with the Lightning. I know that they're currently tied with the Bruins for the top spot in the East. The Bruins have a game in hand, so they are more likely to snag that top spot. But I think the Lightning, Stamkos is out right now, but when he's firing, he's going. I also think that the Lightning have Nikita Kucherov, who is my MVP for the year.
No relation.
No relation. So
Kucherov, no relation.
I don't know.
Because McKinnon, dude. Because McKinnon's got hella relations, but not Kucherov.
Nah, Kucherov is just chilling, but he's also chilling as the MVP and the top.
Oh, is he actually the MVP?
I think so. I actually think he's the MVP, and for me, it's in between him and McDavid. And I would take McDavid, except how good your team does actually matters, and McDavid's team is just nowhere near as good. And so I think
the team success matters.
He's on the Oilers. The Oilers are not a playoff team, so you can't tell me that. Well, it's not out of the question because he is having the better year, but I'll take Kucherov with the second best team in hockey over McDavid with a non-playoff team.
I buy that, and you think Kucherov gives him a huge edge in the playoffs too, just having like that one player who can score a goal when a goal needs to be scored.
Yep,
All right, Cameron, I did some research. Do you want me to tell you about it?
I do actually.
The team that wins the President's Trophy doesn't win the Stanley Cup very often.
Well,
Happens,
that's a flawed system because the Caps have won a bunch of those President's
and they just
trophies,
choke.
and they can't win. They actually have a 0% chance of winning. So I want some
Well,
less biased data.
okay, I got trends for you. It's 1 in the last 5 years, 2 in the last 10 years. The deal is the reason those numbers are so perfect, such a perfect ratio, is it's every 5 seasons, dating back 15 NHL seasons, that the President's Cup trophy wins. So it's, they win, then they lose 4 years, they win, they lose 4 years. This is the year for the President's Trophy team to win the Stanley Cup mathematically. So that is a good look for the Predators. If you're following the 5 year cycle logic, if you're following another type of logic that I like to call me checking goals for and goals against for the teams.
That is a sneaky logic. That's a pretty
Yeah,
good
sneaky
name
logic
too.
here.
Have you gotten that
Um,
shit patented?
Not yet, but patent pending.
LeBron will probably attack you like he's doing to Alabama football right now.
Is he?
Yeah,
We'll talk about this.
Yeah, he has like a trademark claim against Alabama football because he has a show about being in a barbershop called The Shop, and Alabama football also has a segment of a show about being in a barbershop called Shop Talk. So he's suing. Well,
the shop?
he hasn't actually sued yet. He's he sent a strongly worded email, I think, to Nick Saban saying hop
And
off.
himself, or probably he had.
Well,
some
I'm
one of
sure
the
I'm
people
sure his
do it.
lawyer did it. Yeah, but so there was a strongly worded email sent.
Interesting. Good to know. Where was I? Hockey.
Yeah,
That's where I was. Oh, this is good. In the last 10 years, every single team who's won the Stanley Cup has been in either the top 2 for goals scored, top 2 for goals against, or top 2 for SRS, which is like a measure of goals scored versus goals against that's adjusted for strength of schedule.
okay.
So that's every year for 10 years, which is pretty significant. That leaves 5 teams this year who are in the top 2 for any of those metrics. They're the Jets, Lightning, Kings, Maple Leafs, and Bruins. 5 teams that could win it all by that math. The last 3 years, which is 2 Penguins and who won 3 years ago?
The
Blackhawks?
Lightning.
Whoever won 3 years ago. 3 years in a row. The team that puts the most shots on goal during the regular season has won the Stanley Cup, which is big. And this year it's the Penguins again. I'm pretty sure. I have to confirm that.
It was the Blackhawks in 2015.
Yeah, so they led the league in shots on goal that year.
And do you know who it was this year, or are you just saying shit?
Now I'm keeping this right now.
As you can tell, we are super prepared for this segment because we watch a lot of
Super
hockey.
prepared. Lightning are leading the league in shots.
Lightning, man. I told you Lightning were going to come out of the East. All right. Let's stop talking about hockey because we don't know shit anyway. Check back in once the actual
We're doing good,
playoffs
though.
are announced for some matchup by matchup breakdowns of exactly who's going to
Yeah,
win.
and watch a game. I'm serious. Bet $5 on a game, and you'll have a great time.
All right.
Right?
Let's talk some football. The Pats trade a first and a sixth for Cooks and a fourth. Thoughts?
Like, weird trade. I guess they just don't like to do the whole contract year thing with their receivers and end up having to pay them afterwards. But the way this breaks down is because of the trade they made for Cooks last year, which was a first and a fourth, is that they effectively just moved down in the draft from a 3rd round pick to a 6th round pick for 1 year of Brandon Cooks, which is a good deal, but it's just like a weird deal. I don't know at this point why you wouldn't keep him for a late 1st round pick unless slight buzz around the league is
OBJ.
they could be going after Odell. They could be going after Odell.
That's just a scary concept for me. Having Tom Brady, Odell Beckham, and Gronk, assuming he returns, all in the same field at the same time. That just seems fun.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, this just should not even be a discussion for the Giants. They have a generational talent in Odell Beckham, and they're upset for what? Because he's like, what did he do? Cocaine once in the offseason? Let it go.
Yeah, he's fine.
One
He's
little
fucking
one little
fine.
cocaine in the offseason, dude.
Um,
I
I,
just think the numbers he's put up in his first 3 seasons, like with the corpse of Eli Manning throwing to him and not a single other offensive threat on the field, are absurd. So to just let that walk away for a pick who's not going to be nearly as good as Odell is
pretty
really, really
dumb.
stupid. I mean, I hope they do it because then the Redskins don't have to play Odell twice a year, but we'll see. I think it would be one of the dumber moves like in the last several years if the Giants let Odell walk.
It's almost like letting a franchise quarterback walk, and I can't remember who would possibly do that. So,
Unless they were upgraded significantly.
yeah, upgraded to Alex Smith. All right, let's move on to the NBA. Kyrie Irving, star point guard for the Boston Celtics, officially announced to be out for the season, including the playoffs. Quick reacts. What does this do for their chances? Do they even have a chance? And how excited are you for next year?
They didn't have a chance because the switch had been flipped. LeBron was going to win the East again, and the Raptors were better than them anyways. But like it hurts. It sucks to see Kyrie, especially because this like was supposed to be his year where he broke away from LeBron and started out as a phenomenal team leader. So tough to see a guy go down with an injury like that. If any team can make it work, it's the Celtics because Brad Stevens is a genius. But obviously, the Celtics are a significantly less scared playoff team without a go-to scorer because now they don't have a go-to scorer.
And they might have that first round matchup with the Wizards, so I'm personally pretty
Oh yeah,
excited
yeah.
about
The
that.
tank for the 7th seed is looking ideal right now because this is basically a matchup of the Eastern Conference Finals last year, except the Celtics have gotten better and we've probably gotten worse somehow.
Yeah, well,
Regardless, that went to
but
7 games, and like John Wall
that
won't be as tired this time. He's nice and fresh.
and they won't have that one point guard that just fucking shits on us for 7 games. So, and
Yeah, although
except that Terry Rozier has been balling out, but I'm still less worried about Rozier as far as a playoff
yeah,
kind of guy.
no, I'm really loving the tank for the 7th seed at this point.
No, it's definitely the move. We also that also even if we do lose in the first round, which like I think we still probably will, uh, gets us a slightly better draft pick. So it's just not bad in any way, shape, or form. All right, let's get into some segments. First segment, we've got the simulator. There was some buzz shortly after the NCAA tournament of would LeBron, if you just put LeBron on a 16 seed, would they win the NCAA tournament? And I think that's a definitive yes. I think he is pretty easily goes for 50, 20, and 20 in any college game. But the
Agreed.
question
Yeah, won't
the question
will
that
not argue with you on
that
that.
kind of spurned that was how far down the list of NBA players do you have to go to find a player that would not win the NCAA tournament if you put him on a 16 seed? So to do
So
that, we are looking at the Washington Post had our 1 through 100 rankings of NBA players before before this season, and Isaac started at number 11 because we think the top 10 guys can do it. Start at number 11. I'm going to stop you when I think that this player could no longer win the NCAA tournament just if you put him on a 16 seed.
okay, the 11th player in this set of rankings is Draymond Green. You think he carries the 16th seed?
Yeah,
That's an interesting one. Like
it's
I think
weird.
yes.
It's weird because he's not an ISO player like so many of these guys are. He's tough, but I think he's more the exception than the rule as far as the guys that are right before and right after
And
him.
I think he has just no trouble swallowing up any college player defensively.
Oh, for
Probably
sure.
like 2 at a time. He can probably guard the other team's 2 best players
Yep.
and then just make everyone else on the floor around him better. Number 12, Chris Paul. I think that's another yes.
Yep.
I think a point guard like is going to have way less trouble than any other position because they can just take over the game. So 13, John Wall.
Yeah, he can do it. Clay can do it at
Klay
14.
Thompson.
Yeah, I think so.
Paul George, I'd say yes. 2-way impact. DeMarcus Cousins, dominant big man for sure.
Dominant.
Gordon Hayward would need his ankle to do it, but a healthy Gordon Hayward,
I think
he
can
nearly
do it.
did. So like he basically did it in college with Butler. So
I think
count that one.
I think that Rudy Gobert does it too. Although I'm less sure. I'm less sure at this point. There's a little run of big men right here, and I don't feel comfortable with the big men because it's such a guards tournament.
Yeah, I think a 7 footer like Rudy Gobert just has such physical advantage. I mean, so did like Aiton and like Bamba this year, who like obviously didn't go very far in the tournament,
Yeah,
but
but
they don't have
they're not as
5 years of NBA
polished. Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
All right.
Uh, let's
Gasol
keep running.
does.
Kyle Lowry, yes.
I
Paul
think Larry
Millsap,
does. Yeah. Yeah.
again.
Blake,
Kyrie for sure.
Kyrie easily. He's at 27.
Oh, Damian Lillard, easy. Damian Lillard was at 24 going into the season, so slept on. You
I
think
think
Isaiah Thomas could? This is an interesting one. He was ranked super high before the season.
that's
28.
tough. That's tough. I mean, honestly, I think, actually, yeah, I still do. I still do. As kind of questionable as he is now with the NBA, I think he'd dribble his way around any other player. And keep in mind that all these are long twos for 3-pointers for him, too. So I think he does it.
Yeah, I think he'd have no trouble scoring, but I think he actually like is such a bad defender that like even at college level he's going to be a non-factor. So like yeah, he'll probably score 30 or 40. Does that do enough? Like what if they just triple team him?
I mean,
Can a 16 seed still win games playing 2-on-4 or whatever, 2-on-5?
yeah, I
But
think so.
I also just think he's beyond washed at this point. So he's not like the worst. There are players closer to the fringe on that. DeRozan,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
DeRozan does it easily. He'd also be much higher at this point. Where I'm going to draw the line, honestly, I'm going to draw the line at Eric Bledsoe at 39.
That's seems a little arbitrary, but well, I mean,
Well,
in this list, Kemba is 38 and Bledsoe is 39, and I think we're
Kemba,
going to have to be huge Kemba believers in March.
Kemba already did it, and that was like 8 years ago, so he can easily do it again.
I mean, yeah, people do sleep on how bad 16 seeds are compared to the rest of the tournament. Like these
Yeah.
are really bad teams, so even if you have an absolute stud, your other 4 starters are at a significant disadvantage.
For sure. I'm still putting it at 39, Eric Bledsoe. That's where I'm at. Not that any of these guys are a lock, but I think it immediately puts them into the top 3 teams in the tournament. And at that point, anyone can win unless you play Villanova.
Yeah, I think Eric Bledsoe might even be able to do it just because anyone who touches the ball that much, I think, will have a shot at completely controlling the tempo of the game. For me, it's the big men who don't have as much as an all-around impact where I start to worry. I'm trying to think, like Kristaps could probably do it.
Kristaps could do it for sure.
Yeah. Jokic, he could do it.
Jokic could do it. Anyone who can shoot, I think, can do it because it's such a easier 3-pointer for them.
Yeah, they're just taking the long twos. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, good talk, I'd say.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe is the first worst player in the NBA in my book.
Sorry, Eric Bledsoe. Remember he tweeted earlier in the year, "I don't want to be here" about the Suns. People think that he was talking about the Suns, but he was really talking about the NBA. He wants to go back to college and prove us wrong.
Damn,
He still got eligibility.
Give him a chance. Give him a chance.
Give him a chance.
All right, new segment now. It's called Pour One Out. Pretty self-explanatory. Pour one out for Sergio Garcia, the incoming. He won the Masters last year, and this year shot a 13 on one hole in the first round of the Masters. He put it into a lake 4 shots in a row. And shot a 13, that's +8. He finished +9 on the day, but that took him all the way up to +10 at the time that it happened. Hate to see it. Pour
Scared
one
of
out.
Tiger. Pour one out for Sergio Garcia. All right, in peace. Pour one out for anyone doubting the obvious. I've got a couple examples to back this up, but what you're looking at is don't doubt phenomenal athletes. Exhibit A is Bryce Harper. We had a heckler yell that Harper was overrated right before he took a pitch, which he then smashed for a home run. So RIP to that heckler, RIP to the Braves, who on an institutional level tried to get at Bryce Harper by playing the Darth Vader theme song as he walked up. Result was another home run. So pour one out for the Braves. Pour one out for LeBron is another example. Don't doubt LeBron. He was going to win the East. Now Kyrie's knee is shot. The Raptors have been looking not so good. LeBron's averaging 87 points and 13 assists a game. So
Approximately.
pour one out for LeBron haters. And finally, pour one out for anyone who darted RG3. My man's is back. You do not sleep on that kind of talent. Pour one out for the doubters.
People
Because
forget that he is
RG3
worth
is making a
approximately.
return in a big way.
People forget that he is worth approximately 10 first-round picks. So you just can't buy that kind of talent at number 2.
Can't sleep on talent.
All right, pour one out for any pitcher facing the Yankees because they are just hitting tanks at an unbelievable level. Giancarlo already has at least 3 home runs. Judge has been hitting home runs, but them too, and Didi Gregorius, who's some guy nobody really saw having a huge impact. All 3 of them hit home runs yesterday, and they won 7-2. So yeah, if you want a job that no one is going to envy, just pitch against the Yankees. Pour one out.
I'd pitch against the Yankees. I can take them, but that's whatever. And our final pour one out of the week is to Dickie V as an avatar for the college basketball season. It's over, which is sad. We can reminisce on the good times, the bad, but 2018 college basketball is in the books.
What a day.
We got. Oh, I meant to talk to you about this. UVA beat UMBC at the cybersecurity tournament. This happened like a couple weeks ago. So it's over. We can stop talking about this whole. UMBC was the defending national champ, and UVA came in and upset them in a big revenge game.
At the cybersecurity tournament?
Yeah. So the cybersecurity tournament. So let's not be sportist here, Cameron. So UVA is now back on even footing with UMBC.
1-1 against UMBC.
1-1. 1-1. We are not sportists.
Damn. Right. Fair enough.
There's already the top 25 ready for next season. They put that out immediately after the championship.
Duke was
you know
one.
Who it is, Cameron?
Duke was 1.
No, Duke was 2 behind UVA. It was UVA, Loyola Chicago, the Who's, fuck Duke, and Villanova. Those are the top 5.
Okay. I'll accept that top 5.
Yeah, that's how it went down.
UVA went from unranked to getting beat by a 16 seed. So if we can do that next year, like a pretty successful season.
Right. Good talk.
All right. We're going to now move on to trending, which is one of our favorite segments. Isaac.
Trending.
Start us up.
Trending up this week is LinkedIn. Ask me why, Cameron.
Why is LinkedIn trending up, Isaac?
Because LinkedIn is the only social media site where you cannot post racial slurs. Definitively will not be posting any racial slurs on there. We found out last week you can't get away with that kind of stuff on Twitter because DiVincenzo's old tweets were unearthed after the Final Four. He was a bad tweeting 14-year-old.
He should have been on LinkedIn since
should have been
day
on LinkedIn.
one.
He would have known.
Anyone who's smart was on there early. All right, my first trending up is Dr. James Andrews because RG3's back in the league. So
his surgery will be required soon.
He's got to be on somebody's official medical staff. And in this case, it's the Ravens. So Dr. James Andrews trending straight up. I'd watch that telephone if I were you.
Yep, good. Trending up diversity. It was a dangerous week in diversity because Marquette King, the only African-American punter in the NFL, was cut by the Raiders. Today he got re-signed by the Broncos, 3 years. So we now have some color in our league punters.
And we have some stability there with the 3-year contract. How much that's guaranteed?
Yeah, he'll be there for a while. I don't know, probably like
probably 0.
Half a chicken nugget. Yeah.
All right, that's big time. Trending up also is small talk for a couple reasons. Number one, summer is here, so you're allowed to say, "Damn, it's hot outside." All the time. That is an easy go-to any conversation you want. Additionally, we're getting closer to like pollen season, and so you had to be like, "Oh, the pollen out there is horrible today. Like my allergies really acting up."
I do like to say that. Man, my allergies are acting up.
Man, the allergies. So small talk is really up because you just got a whole new earth of material just flowing right in with summer.
Yeah. You need an excuse to talk to that cute girl next to you in class? You say, "What's up? You got a Benadryl?" There's fucking 8 gallons of snot pouring out of my nose, and my eyes are drying up.
And then, like, bang, all of a
the
sudden
bath.
everyone's at, like, half chub and we are all rocking out, so.
Yeah, it's great. Um, what are we at? Trending down, trending down. We're getting negative. The superior part of trending. Trending down is honor. I've been watching this honor, courage, all that stuff for a while. This has been since like King Arthur. I would say honor's been going downhill.
Oh, shit.
It peaked last week when the Celtics played zone defense in the NBA. Zone defense is back in a bad way in the NBA. That is cowardly. I don't like it. I mean, frankly, it's brilliant to employ this because if you do it for, I mean, you can't do it for the whole game, but if you do it for 3 possessions, you might throw it off an NBA offense. And it's just funny to think that like Ty Lue and LeBron James have to spend 2 hours teaching the baby Cavaliers how to beat a zone now just because the Celtics threw it out for a couple seconds during a meaningless spring game.
I mean, that is just the genius of Brad Stevens
But still,
right there.
just cowardly stuff.
All right, trending
Enough.
down, David Barrett. I'll bet you didn't know that name anyway, but he sings One Shining Moment. And there is now like 360 days until you will hear One Shining Moment again. So he
Did you watch
peaked.
One Shining Moment?
I actually did. They had
I didn't
Grayson's
watch
shot
it
in
because
there.
I knew. Well, you watched it. Was Isaiah Wilkins crying on it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, wait.
Yeah, I just knew he was gonna be on
He
that.
had the
and I didn't
towel
wanna
over
watch
his
it.
face. He had the towel over his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch
Yeah,
of
I didn't
retrievers
wanna
on there, a bunch of dogs.
Uh,
But so, David Barrett
any Wildcats? Or just the
trending
Dogs?
down. Plenty of Wildcats as well. David Barrett
good.
trending down because he had his one day and he can now wait 360 days.
He didn't even get a day for me. He's taking a full 2 years off. It's a leap year for David.
For David. All right, Isaac, over to you.
Okay, trending down also for me is gonna be the mean. Baseball started, and I don't want to hear shit about how like this pace is unsustainable and regression to the mean is inevitable, and Shohei Ohtani is not going to hit 2,000 home runs in his rookie season. People are trying to bring the mean up, but I will not allow it. The mean, well, it's not going anywhere because it's the mean, but in my head, it's trending down.
Yeah, so we are an anti-mean podcast.
Yeah, I don't want just like let me have my pace, like the team that's on pace for 162 or 162
Oh yeah,
and 0.
yeah. Don't tell me what I can't do. Don't put me in a box like that. Holy fucking shit! All right.
I'm on my pace.
Last trending down is the Twitter security system. After Dante DiVincenzo was exposed for being a homophobic racist on Twitter when he was 14 years old, the Villanova Wildcats tweeted out that his Twitter had been hacked when he was 14, and he didn't do anything about that for like 6 years. But it's obviously true because teams don't lie. He was hacked. So honestly, sorry.
Someone conspired. They knew. They were like, in 5 years, DiVincenzo is going to make a name for himself. This little scrawny ginger 14-year-old.
So really, sorry to Dante for jumping to conclusions on him, and trending down is the Twitter security system. They need to stop. They need to start preventing those hacks. You just cannot let people get hacked because you never know when they're going to tweet the N-word. Sorry, when someone's going to tweet the N-word for them.
From their account, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of my time on other people's Twitter accounts, so...
Yeah, just tweeting racist and homophobic slurs. Same. Big hacker. You know what DiVincenzo's password was?
Password?
It was password. Yeah, it was password. Nice.
Fucking idiots. All right, so moving on to this or that for the week, we've got the Golf Whisper, Jim Nance's patented Tiger Woods is now approaching the fairway to hit his second shot. Because if you talk louder than that, Tiger will be able to hear you, Jim Nance, and
then he won't win the Masters, which he does every year, right?
Yeah, so honestly, good thing Jim Nance whispers. And it is the Golf Whisper versus the Bang call in the NBA.
Mike Breen, the owner of the Bang call.
By Mike Breen, who has patented the fuck out of that. And so the debate is, which of those two calls, or manners of calling games, would be better at hosting a dinner party? Isaac, start us
Dude,
up.
what you're looking at is the classic quiet versus loud debate. And for my dinner party, I'm going loud. I'm gonna have a rager type of dinner party. Everyone's gonna be yelling around. As the bang call host, they can't say anything else, I'm assuming, other than bang. So I guess they just serve food, but when they put it down, they're like bang, and you jump up behind someone, bang. So that's fun, and then imagine that the energy level of everyone else at the party is gonna raise in response to that. So rise in response to that. So there's gonna be loud music. Everyone's gonna be fucking pumping their fists. It's gonna be a grand old time at the bang call dinner party.
All right, I'm going to definitely go the golf whisper because while I do understand that 5
Because you're
minutes
soft.
of a bang call dinner party might be a little bit hype, there's also just no communication, and I feel like just kind of the principle of a dinner party is to sit around and talk and mingle, and nobody's banging and mingling. You mingle and then mingle.
Nobody's banging and mingling.
Maybe you
That's
like
cool.
mingle first and then bang, but you definitely golf whisper just allows for everyone to be heard, everyone to have conversations. You can be outside, inside. You're definitely using your inside voice for that. So like you're being a good.
Okay, hold up though, because what you're forgetting is that the bang call is a fucking phenomenal chef. So the whole small talk pleasantries about its allergy season and whatnot are completely unnecessary when the food is just slaps, you know? Everyone, you can just eat, you go, oh, bang, and everyone's like, yeah, I know what you mean. Bang, you're right, this food bangs, bang. Whereas the whisper, it's like you're eating and you don't want to be non-polite. So you're like, oh yeah, it's really good. Yeah, this is great. Thanks so much for having us over. But nobody's having a good time.
The bang call does have the power of like James Harden behind it. He does constantly just chef on his way back.
Yep.
It has.
Wesley Johnson prefers the golf whispers for sure.
It also has the power of Chef Curry behind it. I'm with you on that, but I still think that the chill Sunday at the Masters. Everyone's drinking a lot of beers. You have those little snacks on the side. You're walking around a lot, getting some exercise in, and everyone's just whispering. All of a sudden, like now you're feeling good.
Yeah, the golf whisper party probably does have like nice cheese platters and prosciutto and all that good stuff.
You got hella prosciutto for sure.
Yeah, the bang party does not have that. Just steak only. It's nothing but meat.
All right, so let us know who won that debate. The old
Venmo, get your answer in.
the old bang party versus golf whisper debate. The age old.
Thomas Classic. Socrates himself could not resolve it, but I think we just did.
I think we just did.
Bang.
It was the golf whisper. So let's now get into the finale, and I'm going to start. I registered for classes this morning, and I had to sign up for an 8:30. So fuck my life.
You had to sign up for an 8:30?
Had to sign up for one.
Damn, I guess you're dropping out. All right. I got school-related news. My Friday is back. I was going to have to work all day tomorrow on this policy memo, and it has been postponed. It's due next Wednesday now, so let's fucking procrastinate. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. I got a house, so I'm not going to be homeless next year.
Oh, good shit. I'm still homeless. The Sixers have won 12 straight basketball games. Not easy to do.
Tiger is at +1 through one round.
Also not super easy to do. I saw a blind guy today who has climbed Mount Everest and kayaked the Grand Canyon. Gave an inspirational speech. Had a great seeing eye dog.
That is not easy to do either.
We have a podcast.
I almost caught myself thinking that it was the Caps year because it was so definitely not the Caps year that I almost convinced myself that it was.
It's the Caps year. Jay Wright should leave. This is my take. Everyone says he should stay, but why not go try to turn around an NBA franchise? You already did your thing at Villanova.
Yeah, I'm with you. You also just get paid more, I'm sure. The Champions League was lit as shit Tuesday and Wednesday. Ronaldo scored a banging goal. Liverpool had a fucking banging performance against Man City. Barcelona has gotten like 5 own goals for them in the Champions League. So like the own goals are the second leading scorer on Barcelona in the Champions League this year. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I want to highlight your phrasing there. You said Ronaldo scored a banging goal. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Not a whispering goal. Not a
it's-
golf spring goal.
he-
It was a
he-
banger.
It was a banger, not a goal
It
for
was a
spring goal.
banger. All right. So file that away in the evidence channel. I got nothing else to add. What you got?
All right, I got two things. I got number one, in case you forgot that it's April. It's April, so you can change your calendar over because that March month just sits up there for way too long sometimes. And lastly, I think freezer space is super underrated. I snagged a 72 pack of Eggo waffles like 2 weeks ago, and that shit's already gone. And really, we just need 72 packs of Eggo waffles, but we don't even have space in our freezer for them. So freezer space is super fucking underrated. So
Hey, Cameron.
at
Cameron, you won that debate earlier about the golf whisper.
did I?
April Fools. April Fools. Got you with April Fools.
It's April 5th.
Yeah, but we didn't have a show on April 1st, so I'm doing it now.
Got him.
You're gonna remember this one, only. All right. Till next week, folks. We'll do NBA playoffs. It'll be lit.
Till next week, and just in case you were worried that I did not have enough technical difficulties this week, we did. Trust me, we did. We had a lot of them.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
All
Peace
right.
out.